Hello and welcome. This is Rhygellau. It's a double O gauge 30-yard terminus layout measuring 10 foot by 2 foot, and that includes the 50 yard. The layout is set in the 1930s outside of Cardiff in the Welsh Valleys. The name and layout is entirely fictional, with the name being inspired by dog Gethlau. At the far end of the layout, you can see two tunnel portals. This will provide a clear explanation for the layout. The tunnel on the left is the main route, with all the passenger services travelling along this route, and all good trains that want to get to Cardiff and beyond. However, the tunnel portal on the right is a freight-only line connecting a number of mines further up in the mountains. That the only way it could reach the main line was to go divert via Rhygellau. So looking more closely at the layout, we'll start with the 50 yard. This I won't mention the fact that this was more of an afterthought, hence why it was so short. Basically designed the scenic area and then added. I knew I wanted a 50 yard, but the 50 yard was basically made up of the space I had left. I did have to shorten a bookcase in order to make way for the 50 yard. Moving on, we see the two tunnel portals, which I mentioned earlier, obviously explained earlier. You can see the signal box you see here is the main one that controls all the points on the rest of the layout. Obviously it doesn't really, but the engine shed is just a small one used to temporarily store locomotives or to do any repairs that may be necessary for the locomotives. The slider in the back doesn't really have a point. I just wanted a slide into there. It just seemed a nice idea. Next, we have the cattle dock with a couple of wagons just sitting there. Moving on, we come into the main station. It's just a single platform with a runaround loop. It can usually accommodate two carriages, so it's obviously quite a small station, but still it does have potential. Finally, we have the goods yard. Obviously it's got a goods shed and there's a factory in the building, although since I've added the back scene it looks a bit out of place. But this is obviously the main sorting area with various goods coming in and out. It's also used, the sidings by here are also used to reverse trains that have come from the tunnel port, either tunnel port or go into the other one. As for the fleet, the first of the fleet is a GWR Class 101 called Little Giant. This is my oldest locomotive that I own because I've had it since I was like 8, and so it's quite dear to me. In recent times the locomotive has been dying, the motor's been playing up a lot, so it's barely drivable. So to attempt to save it, I've removed the motor, so now it's essentially a wagon, and on the layout it acts as a broken train, so it can be trailed behind another locomotive. So the next loco is a Bachmann GWR 64XX, number 6424. This one was one of the first two proper GWR locomotives I got, which I intended for the layout. I got it from Hattons, for those of you wondering. Next we have the Bachmann GWR 45XX number 4539. Now this I have a love for. I don't quite know why, I just love the locomotive. And it was my favourite locomotive until I recently got another locomotive, which has become my favourite. But this has also been my most reliable train so far, because I've had issues with some of the others. And I just love the locomotive. Here we have mainline class GWR Class 2251, which I got quite recently. Obviously, being mainline, I got it second hand. Mostly good condition. It's been a bit iffy running, but in terms of quality, I love it. I haven't really got second-hand locomotives before, and I've got to recently, and they are brilliant. Fair play. So this is a Bachmann GWR Class 56XX number 5667. This I got second-hand along with the mainline locomotive, which I'm quite happy with it because it is really good quality, and you wouldn't know it was second-hand. Now this is a locomotive that has become my favourite locomotive, and there's a reason for that. It's because the locomotive itself was based off locomotives run on the Rumney Railway, pre-group in railway, and Rumney Railway is my local line, and so I have a love for these locomotives. It's just quite special to me. The last of the locomotives is a Hornby GWR Class 48XX number 4837. This one I got surprisingly cheaply new, and I got it a while ago, but admittedly only recently got an auto coach for it. Now, for the rest of the rolling stock, as in not the locomotives, I only have 3 coaches. One of them, as mentioned a moment ago, is the auto coach. It's GWR in the chocolate and cream livery. This was also secondhand. I got it at the same time as the 2251 and the 56XX. So I'm quite happy with it. I've actually been meaning to get an auto coach for a long time, but because they've been so expensive new, I haven't really found pre-owned ones, and so it's only recently I found this pre-owned one on Hatton's, and so I bought it. The other 2 coaches are from the Hornby Railroad range. They are the simple ones you can get. Obviously chocolate and cream livery, and I got them quite cheaply. Quite nice locomotives actually. Finally, for the wagons I own, these are pretty much all of them. They're almost all Dapple, apart from the brake van, which is Bachmann. Obviously, there's a mix of them: box vans, 7-plank, 4-plank wagons. There's also, you can't see this, but there's also a cattle. It's 2 cattle wagons hiding on the other end of the layout. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Or if you've got any questions or anything you want to suggest I do, please leave them in the comments. You can follow me on Instagram. I'll leave a link to that in the description. And if you're interested in gaming, which you're probably not, go and subscribe to my other channel.